beautiful day. Why? You can hear Krishna Katha. Right? If you look at internally, now if you go outside and look externally, then it may be something else. So that's the difference between spirit and matter.
Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayam Nashta Prayeshavadrisho Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshike Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Satchidananda Rupaya Vishnu Patyadi Hetave Tapatraya Vinasaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Tama Krishna Goswami Dinamine Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Dinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Sadharine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare. So we've been discussing about the conversation between Maitreya and Vidurji, and we have come to know that Maitreya Rishi is wrapping up the story of Kapil Muni and Devahuti. So basically, now it is the time that Mother Devahuti, even though she is mother of Lord Kapil Dev, at this present condition or situation or time, she is representing her own son or giving a seat, giving a asana, Vyasasana, or putting his son on Vyasasana, representing him as Vyasadeva, representing him as a guru, as a teacher, and inquiring from Lord Kapil Dev the ultimate human form of life. She asks a lot of questions that is applicable for the human society, particularly speaking today. Amongst so many of them, there are few which are very important and very commonly asked today in the society by everybody. And those questions we are going to discuss today. first question. The first question she wanted to know from Lord Kapil Dev. Okay. The first question was, how one can control the senses. Indriyani dasaikamcha panchachendriya gocharam. Krishna says in Madhurya, there are 10 senses, including mind, intelligence and consciousness. Panchachendriya gocharam. There are inquiring senses, Jnanendriya and Karmendriya. Right? So, how one can control the senses? It's a very tough question, correct? Then she wants to know, what kind of person, who is bound? किसका बंधन होता है? इंद्रियों को कैसे बस में किया जाए और बंधन किसका होता है और मुक्ति किसकी होती है? और सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट, मन को कैसे जीता जाए? हाउ वन कैन कंट्रोल द माइंड, करेक्ट? तो संक्षेप में, in short, I will briefly explain you about this few topics that is very important or very significant. The first one was how to control the senses. इंद्रियों को कैसे बस में किया जाए? Whole third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is discussed on the Sankhya philosophy. But out of whole book, I am just selecting a few things which are, of course, there are so many important subject matters, but few things which are more permanent in the society nowadays. People like to ask repeatedly same questions: how to control the senses. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, in order to control one's senses, one has to engage his activities, his mind, intelligence, everything, whatever, yad karoshi, yad asnasi, yad juhoshi, dadasi, yad tapasyasi konti, yad kurusar magarparam. Anything and everything that you do, whatever you do, yad karoshi, yad asnasi, yad juhoshi, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you give away, whatever austerity or penances you perform, anything and everything that you do in your life, daily life, must be done as an offering to God. You should first offer to God. You should do for the pleasure of God. Tat Purusha Madarpanam. You got to offer that to me first. Why Krishna is saying that? Why you have to offer everything to him first? Because anything and everything that is applicable within this material world is contaminated by the three modes of material nature, and wherever there is a contamination involved, there is a sin involved automatically. Because sin is involved on it, the contamination is there. Sin is creating a contamination, right? So there is no way that you can be free from that. So that's why Krishna says, offer that obligation, offer that penances, or offer that charity, or offer that whatsoever you are doing first to me. I will rectify, I will purify it, I will filter it. Like the water in Arizona, you know how much the iron, there is so much iron that it jams the tap. You know, every couple of months you got to change the filter. So especially if you have a filter in your house, very strong hard water, and you know that water is filthy if you really look outside where that water comes from. But because it is filtered, by the time you drink, it's filtered so nicely that it does not affect you, correct? It's so crystal clear, it's so nice. You won't even notice where that water is coming from or So because of the purification of that water, the symptoms of the water is very pleasant. Similarly, anything and everything that you do as an offering to Krishna, Krishna purifies that. He rectifies the sin, he takes away the sin, and he gives you as a remnants, as a prasadam to you in return. By accepting, by honoring that purifies you. So in reality, in actuality, we are not really simply giving, but we are getting better, right? In return. The senses are so many. Now we can discuss simply on this subject matter of today's discussion only on senses. We can go on and on, but the thing is, we have to catch up for other matters too, other subjects as well. So we are going to discuss shortly, but briefly. Importantly, the senses, the best way of controlling the senses, the tongue, the ear, the nose, the eyes, the mouth, the nostrils, the abdomen, all the senses that are within the body, whether they are active senses or inactive senses, as long as you utilize them in the service of God, then they can be controlled. For example, like horses, because we are like near the horse area farm. I see when I go around this street, there are a lot of horses. When you are riding a horse, there's a way that you control the horse, because they have the chain going around his nose, nostrils and whatnot, and there is a rope behind it. That you control them whether to go right, to left, go fast or slow, correct? The senses are like that. The senses are considered as a horse in Bhagavatam. They are non-different from the horses. Mind is a driver. Now, the same is how to control the mind too. There is another subject matter, another question, but mind is a driver. Now, driver has to be a perfect driver too, correct? If you are drinking and driving, then what will be the situation of the passengers on the back? With the soul, he feels victim with it, correct? So therefore, soul is quietly sitting in the back. So driver, car itself is not, it's important, but he is not complete. A driver is needed, but then again the driver has to be perfect too. The leader has to be perfect. So like that, when the senses, every part of the body, like when you are, it is not that you don't engage the senses or you stop the senses completely. It is just that you transport those senses spiritualized, transfer them into spirituality. Use them like a Krishna conscious way. So, spiritual way. And how we do that? It's very simple. Everybody, mostly 99% of the population in human society likes to eat palatable food, correct? Nice, yummy, juicy, tasty. सबको चाहिए, मीठा खाना है. The tongue, it always wants very palatable dishes. He is never satisfied. Today आज समोसा चाहिए, कल bread चाहिए, कल pizza चाहिए, I like cake, I want cake, I want something else, somebody else eat something else, idli, हमको डोसा खाने का मन कर रहा है, So like that, everybody wants, every day they don't want to eat every day same thing, khichdi, everybody, you want always